what's this Qatari stuff? Right, okay, interesting. I want to talk about Sir Jim Ratcliffe a little bit because effectively Sir Jim Ratcliffe, there was an article this week that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is pulling his money out of the UK and is refusing to invest in the UK energy scene because of the tariffs. And some people are saying, well, if he's basically criticising the UK government, why will they do the regeneration project? So we'll talk about that in a moment, but I want to talk about the Qatar story first. So basically, when it was Sir Jim Ratcliffe against Qatar a couple of years ago, I remember saying, I firmly believe that if we miss the boat with Qatar, I always call them Qatar, if we miss the boat with them, they will invest in another Premier League club because it's logical. There is so much money in the world at the moment, and football is the emerging market because it's a global sport. And there's a lot of people looking to invest, especially American hedge funds, etc. Obviously, the Qataris wanted Manchester United for status, but they can't get Manchester United. So that money is still going to be there to invest in a Premier League club. Funnily enough, I always said Spurs. I always said Spurs is perfect because amazing stadium in London, big fan base with the potential to grow. Almost could be the next Man City. You know, Man City had an amazing stadium because of the Commonwealth Games in an amazing city with a big loyal fan base that has the potential to boom if it's successful on the pitch. Well, lo and behold, since Daniel Levy's left, Spurs are a little bit unstable. And in the last few days, there's been talk of investment coming in from, guess where? Qatar. So I only bring it in just to say that, you know, missing out on that option doesn't mean that option will stay on the table for some fantasy deal in the future. I don't think the Glazers are going anywhere for at least 50 years, to be honest with you. I just can't see them ever going. It'll just get passed down through generation and generation. But that money, I think, could end up going elsewhere. So, you know, just be wary of that. In relation to Sir Jim Ratcliffe, do I think Sir Jim Ratcliffe's... Well, look, ultimately, if you read the story properly, what it says is that Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Ineos, and their energy, you know, investments are pissed off with the UK government because of the tariffs and the inability to invest and make profit. So basically, they're not willing to invest in the UK markets anymore. They're going to invest in the US because there's better returns there. This is very much a business headline. Some people have said, well, if Sir Jim Ratcliffe is basically mocking the British government to go and spend in the US arena, then why would the British government go, oh, Sir Jim, here's a load of money to reinvest for us to invest in your project? It's almost a contradiction, isn't it? You've got Sir Jim Ratcliffe, I won't invest in this shit government. And then the government goes, we will invest in something that's going to make you loads of money in Manchester. So some people are saying, is this going to be an issue if Sir Jim Ratcliffe is effectively quitting the UK? Will the UK government quit on the regeneration projects? Because Sir Jim Ratcliffe is the big UK knight to front up what is effectively the Glazers project. The Glazers have had this in mind since 2017. The plans are there. So Jim Ratcliffe's come in and sort of gone, oh, end of the day, but it's a Glazer project. And if he's now pulling out and mocking the UK government, why would they back this project? I'm not too concerned about it, to be honest with you. Ineos are a huge company with fingers in many pies, and where they choose to invest their money around energy is up to them. What we're talking about here is the regeneration project of an area that does need regeneration, that will generate huge infrastructure in an area that needs it, and huge job opportunities, and more importantly, a lot of accommodation. And the UK, look, I live in the UK, I don't do politics, but there is a housing crisis. You know, we have a huge expanding population and we don't have enough houses. So I just don't think the UK government are going to go, Sir Jim Ratcliffe's involved in this, he won't invest in the UK, fuck him, let's not do this. Like, this is, the government will not think of it like that. They will go, here's a way to do something really big in a city outside of London, around one of the most institutionally big football clubs in the world, in an area where we can put a load of accommodation, a load of infrastructure, make a load of jobs, and make a big noise about it, and also make a bit of money from private investment. So I don't think it's going to make any difference, the regeneration project, realistically. And ultimately, I'd say the UK government needs to Jim Ratcliffe some billions more than they can say piss off. And they'll probably be looking to lure him back with that. So I don't think it's a significant update at all. And my biggest concern around the regeneration project is that if the Glazers had pissed off and we had brought in, let's say, Qatar, we'd already be building the new Old Trafford because they were going to build it with their own money. So, you look at what's happened at Manchester City. They've got a mini stadium across the road, funded by Abu Dhabi. If we'd been bought by Qatar, we'd already be building the new stadium and everything around it. My concern is, I think we will do it, but when? When's it going to start happening? I don't know. Look, I don't know because I don't really spend a lot of time analysing major regeneration projects. It's not the sort of thing that gets me a box of tissues and I've gone too far. But I don't know. Could it start tomorrow? I don't know. I don't know what's holding it up. They're talking about 2030. Honestly, I don't want to see Old Trafford knocked down. But as a realist, the sooner we have that new stadium, the more money we make. And Fish and Chips says new stadium, how about a new team? It all goes hand in hand.